This is day 3 of the poisoned husband murder trial. If you haven't been following the case, I'll give you a recap. As always, please, a major trigger warning. Corey Riches is currently facing murder charges, attempted murder, and fraud for allegedly taking the life of her husband, Eric, back in 2022. According to the state, she was in debt over $4 million due to her business, and she was tapped out. She wanted a fresh start. She also had a boyfriend. Now, according to them, if she would have divorced him, well, she signed a prenup. She wasn't going to get much. However, if he had passed, well, she had already taken a life insurance that he wasn't aware of. She forged his signature on, in addition to other life insurances that he already had. She would then acquire the house as well as his business. And that's why she did this. According to the defense, that is not true. In fact, she loved him. They were in business together because he was one of the investors in her business. And also, she simply got into the bed and felt that he was cold to the touch. She got him help. Unfortunately, he had already passed. According to them, this is happening because the family is insisting on finding someone to blame for his death. I do not want to accept that he was struggling with some things. He had an overdose. Let's go into the first witness on day 3, which is continued. Chelsea Gibson, which is the lead crime scene technician. In the previous video, I went over the fact that her job was to assist the detective, photograph everything, take notes, etc. Now the defense is asking her a few questions. One of the things that they did ask her is they asked her about the oxycodone pill or the oxycodone. And she's like, it was on the nightstand. Do you have the bottle? She was never given the bottle by the ME. In other words, that bottle could have had other medications, could have had fentanyl, could have had anything. We do not know. We will never know because said bottle was taken by the ME. It was never turned over to the lead crime scene technician to be able to test the bottle to see in reality what the bottle had. The defense brings up the fact that usually when they're there, they're looking for a possible overdose. They're going to look around for drug paraphernalia, which we're talking bongs and pill bottles, etc. He asked her bluntly, don't people sometimes put different things in prescription bottles? She said yes. So he asked her, if that is the case, why not take the bottle? She took pictures of it. The bottle was taken by the ME, and I guess the ME was supposed to turn everything over for testing, and it never happened. They go on to bring up the fact that she walked through the entire house, kitchen, all of that. She never opened the medicine cabinet that was in the bathroom. And she did open some other cabinets that were in the kitchen, but she never went to the second floor to check anything, to see if they could find anything at all. They also bring up the fact that as the days progressed, they would go back and take more pictures and again, continue looking. But at this point, days had passed. People are going in and out of the house. I remember on that night that everything happened, the scene was never secured. Now, they do bring up the fact that she wasn't there at the time. They did have a warrant for the home and the 2 vehicles. They then asked, did you all search Miss Richens' vehicle? She said, well, there were 2 vehicles that were in the garage. We know the warrant included them. I don't know if they were hers because I was not necessarily involved in that particular search. So that is the end. That is all of day 3. It was very short. The judge said, look, I have a scheduling conflict, but I wanted to at least have a day where we could have a couple of hours or at least an hour or so to have this witness come, and I will go into the next video on day 4. Talk to you soon.